Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Venkataraman. I run the sales for Crayon software experts in India. The topic for today's discussion is cloud to growth. If you reflect upon the last 18 to 24 months, two important phenomenon which change the way in which we live today. One is the destructor, which is COVID-19 and the resulting pandemic. The other is the enabler and savior, which is cloud. So today, in the next 20 minutes, we'll talk about cloud, how it's going to help us all in our advancement of interest in the business as well as the way of life. If we again look at it, what all changed in this 18-24 months? If you really ask me, everything is changed. The way in which the learning happens today, from student to teacher, how the businesses are reaching out to customers, how the buyer is finding a seller, all of them have changed through a paradigm shift today, and it is for the good. So the next 15 minutes, we'll talk about what all opportunities is in front of us, how we can embrace this cloud and drive the benefit out of it. We at Crayon believe the power of technology to drive the greater good. The moment the human expertise and IT gets combined, it unlocks the potential and drives innovation. We strongly believe in this statement and we live by this. If you look at the Crayon at a glance of our journey started about 19 years ago in Oslo, Norway. We developed expertise on software and cloud advisory in these 19 years. We have over 600 certifications on a wide range of technologies and solutions. We are currently in a position to address 80% of the global addressable market with about 1,600 employees spread across 50 offices and 35 countries. All our 1,600 employees are expert in their own field. With a strong relationship and partnership we have tied up with the global players like Microsoft, AWS, we are able to serve the customers across different clouds. And today, we are a publicly listed company in Norway, in Oslo Stock Exchange. Let us look at the global footprint of Crayon. Our origin is Norway. We cover the entire Nordic region. We cover the Central and Eastern Europe. We cover the US. We came to India about 9 years ago. We also have a strong presence in Middle East and Africa, Southeast Asia. Australia and New Zealand are the new addition to our global footprint. As I said, we are able to grow and serve this amount of large customers and partners in the globe is because of our strategic partnerships. We work with Microsoft, we work with AWS, we work with Oracle, we work with Veeam. We also work with software asset management tool companies like Flexera and Snow. Crayon is one of the very few handful of partners globally been accredited with the Azure Expert MSP status from Microsoft. It's a very coveted recognition given to partners based on their skill set, their capacity, and the experience in handling large, complex projects on Azure. With our global presence and the strong expertise on software and cloud analytics, Gartner is recognized as a leader in the Magic Quadrant on software asset management advisory. This happened two years in a row, and we are very happy about it. Let me change gears and talk about the scenarios in the Indian industry today. This slide I'm currently showing you talks about the Gartner's estimate on IT spend by Indian government in 2022. Among others, if you focus on the highlighted area, which is software and cloud, which is growing the fastest at 24.7% is the way in which it is going to grow. This very clearly tells us government is focusing on embracing cloud and software, which is going to help them to serve the citizens better in a much faster and a much streamlined way. Another data point, again from Gartner, it talks about end customer spending on public cloud services in 2021 and 2022. If we look at the, among others, IaaS and SaaS are the two cloud spends, which is growing in leaps and bounds, growing at 38% as well as 20% combined together. we're talking about 2 billion and 1.7 billion kind of expense is going to happen on public cloud services by end users. Another interesting data point, the remote workers penetration of total employee by the country. Look at the data. In the Western world, pre-pandemic, they were about 40% of the people were remotely connecting to the work. And during pandemic and today, they are almost reached about 50%. And they're expected to touch about 60% in the years to come. India is not very far. In pre-pandemic time, we were at 20%, 15 to 20% of penetration on remote workers to total employee. Currently,
the link that you shared yesterday.
Sorry, someone is on mute, please. Yeah, currently we have reached about 30-35% is the penetration of remote workers to total employee.
Yeah, and I mean, I have the primary link where all the documents are there.
In very soon, we'll reach about 40-45% in the coming years. See, the cloud adoption is increasing. The remote workers penetration into total employees is increasing. This throws a bit of challenges on the today's CEOs. How I'm going to ensure the applications are served to the remote workers seamlessly without compromising anything on productivity? How am I going to protect my IT estate through this remote way of people logging into my network? These are going to be the key factors and priorities of global CIOs today. And everybody is looking for a solution in terms of how I'm going to make it seamless for my people and without compromising on security. As I said in the beginning, cloud is an enabler and it is a game changer for all of us. The moment employees and companies are looking at migrating to cloud, the landscape is a continuous change. So we at Crayon can be part of the journey and help you in the complete transformation from on-prem to cloud and how to ensure the cloud is an enabler for you continuously. With this, Crayon has created a cloud adoption framework because the changes is continuous. The landscape is changing. So unless otherwise you have a clear plan in place and framework in place, it has become difficult for you to manage this change. So this cloud adoption framework has about 4 pillars: assessment, plan, implementation, operate, and stabilize. In the assessment phase, we'll help you which are the workloads that can be moved to cloud and which are the applications that you already invested on, can that be moved to cloud? And the second phase is about planning the usage. The moment you move these applications and workloads in the cloud, what is going to be my spend? That has to be clearly planned before you do the actual move. Then Crayon also can help you in the actual implementation and migration. Is it lift and shift? Is it the stage-wise migration? We'll do the actual migration implementation for you. The moment the migration implementation is done, then comes the stabilization of environment and ensure any more additional fine-tuning needs to be done so that the cloud migration is successful in your organization and it serves the purpose. The moment people migrate to cloud, the journey doesn't end there. It's a question of how continuously you monitor this so that you're avoiding any cost overruns. We need to ensure that the entire cloud management is again formed through a framework. We call it as Lifecycle Management and Governance Framework. We need to again reassess which are the applications now has to be reworked. Is there any fine tuning and then cutting corners has to happen on application that has to be again assessed about. Then we help you to build the governance foundation as well as model. Is there any budget-based parameters you need to put in place for either a department or an application? We can do that. So that any given point of time, the governance is taken care of, including the user access controls that you can put in place. Then the optimization of the cloud spend is going to be a key driver today. How continuously we can optimize the usage, we can put in tools and technologies and frameworks so that any given point of time, the organization is not getting into a cost overrun and continuously optimize the environment so that they can get the best ROI. We talked about the framework, we talked about the expertise, and today why customers and partners across the globe look at Crayon to partner within their cloud journey. We have a clear methodology defined with us. We provide a dedicated account manager for every customer who signs and work with us in this journey. This account manager has a complete backing up of the global pool of pre-sales and technology experts in terms of licensing guidelines, in terms of technology expertise, in terms of new challenges and new product lines and upgrades. All of them will be available for this account manager. He will be a single point of contact for customers and partners to engage with Crayon. As I said, we also have 400 plus cloud advisory consultants spread across the globe for Crayon. They are highly skilled and certified global professionals. They have a comprehensive expertise across key software publishers we represent. They also have a deep licensing management skills and technical expertise so that which can be used by customers in managing their entire environment. We talk about the cloud. We talk about the tools and technologies, but how a customer can consume it from Crayon. For that, we have created our own IP. We call it as Intelligent Cloud. This basically has two important portals and rather frameworks, which helps the customer. One of that is Cloud IQ. Cloud IQ is basically a single pane portal view in which you can manage all your cloud products and services and from multiple vendors, be it O365, be it Azure, or AWS, or Google G Suite, or anything for that matter. It continuously gives you a clear view on where is currently my utilization of licenses, where is my current spend in terms of my cloud. It gives you a complete view. This also gives you an instant e-procurement option for you in terms of subscription has to be increased or decreased. This also gives you a clear view on the agreements that you signed up with the publishers. So one single place, you can monitor all of them. And it doesn't end there. It also has open APIs, which can be used for you to integrate with the existing systems in your organization. The next one comes is a Service IQ. This is basically, again, a service portal of Crayon, which comes with a single view again for you to manage all your software projects. Where is the implementation stage currently? Have you already crossed the milestones? It has a tracker. It also has an important action list, which can be monitored by you, along with the cloud expert of Crayon, which is assigned to you. Any given point in time, you can have a look at where are my current implementation projects are. This also has a link to the service desk, which is basically available for you to raise tickets, also get service from Crayon, and get the expert advice from time to time. And again, as I told you, all SLAs signed can be maintained in the cloud in Service IQ itself. So a customer any given point of time has a structured engagement with Crayon, with milestones, with people, processes, and global expertise. So with this, I almost come to the end of my presentation. To summarize, Crayon, with this global presence, technology expertise, and strategic partnership that we have with global players like Microsoft, AWS, Acronis, Veeam, we are in a very strong, unique position to be partnering with you the entire cloud journey. With that, I thank you for this opportunity.